Good morning, everybody. The May 9th, 2016 School Land Board meeting will now come to order. First item on the agenda is number 1 as stated, which is approval of the minutes from our last meeting on April 19th. After the board has had a chance to review these minutes and assuming no comments, questions, or objections, I can entertain a motion to approve them.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion is made, seconded, and carried unanimously to approve the minutes. The next item on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda as posted. After the board has had a chance to review the consent agenda and assuming no questions, comments, could entertain a motion to approve the consent
moved.
agenda.
Second?
Motion is made, seconded, and carried unanimously to approve the consent agenda as posted. Next item on the agenda is number 3 as stated, consideration and action on tracks for an upcoming mineral lease sale.
Good morning. Joy McCauley, Energy Resources. Staff is requesting School Land Board approval of the tracts to be offered at the July 19th, 2016 lease sale, along with the terms and conditions for said tracts. EnergyNet.com will perform the lease sale online. Staff requests the School Land Board approval of 90 tracts for sale. The attached exhibit summarizes by land type and price those tracts that have been determined to be eligible for the sale. Together, these tracts cover approximately 24,000 acres, which is about the same number of acres nominated for the last lease sale. Over 80% of the acreage is in the Delaware Basin. Bidding will be on a bonus basis with minimums ranging from $100 per acre to $2,000 per acre, depending on the location and geology. Royalties will range from 1/5 to 1/4, either fixed or variable, depending on the location and geology. The royalty for rivers and upland tracts will be a fixed 25%. For bay and gulf tracts, the variable royalty provision will be the same as the last lease sale. The primary term of the leases will be 3 years for river tracts and upland tracts, and for submerged tracts, the primary term will be 5 years. The rental rate will be $10 per acre for years 2 and 3, and $25 per acre for years 4 and 5 for submerged lands. The key areas that have been nominated are Reeves and Culberson counties. Staff recommends approval as presented.
So 100% is there, or some of the submerged lands up as well?
And this is just the Culberson Reeves area. That's the majority of the acreage.
And which producer fell out of the largest tract again?
BHP.
And that's also Northwest Reeves County, or?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
So moved.
Second?
Motion is made, second, thank you very much. Seconded and carried unanimously to approve item number 3. Items number 4 through 7 will be held in executive session. The board will enter into the executive session pursuant to Chapter 551, Subchapter D, Section 551, Tech 071 of the Texas Government Code for discussion, consideration regarding pending or contemplated litigation and/or settlement offers, or to seek or receive attorney advice or counsel related to items 4 through 7 on the docket. In subsection 551, Tech 072 for the discussion and consideration concerning the purchase, sale, exchange, lease, or value of real property related to items 4 through 7 on the docket. Following executive session, the board will reconvene in open meeting. The open session of the May 9, 2016 School Land Board meeting will now resume with item number 4.
Ken Mills, Oil and Gas Section, Office of General Counsel. Item 4, staff recommends settlement with COG Operating LLC on the terms and conditions as discussed in executive session.
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made, seconded, and carried unanimously to approve item number 4. The
you.
next item on the agenda, thank you very much, is number 5 as stated.
Good morning, Amber Long, Asset Management. Staff recommends approval of disposition of tax foreclosure land per the terms discussed in closed session. Any questions?
So moved.
Second?
Motion is made, seconded, and carried unanimously to approve item number 5.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Next item on the agenda is number 6 as stated.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, for the record, Rusty Martin, Chief Investment Officer. With regard to agenda item number 6, I move approval in accordance with the terms and conditions that were described to the board in the executive section. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions at this time?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion is made, seconded, and carried unanimously to approve item number 6. For the record, in an effort to avoid any potential conflict of interest, I am personally recusing myself from voting on docket item number 7. A recusal memo has been placed in the meeting file for the School Land Board's May 9, 2016 meeting. Next item on the agenda is number 7 as stated.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, approval of this item would constitute your approval of a co-investment by the Texas General Land Office on behalf of the Permanent School Fund alongside Intervest Energy Institutional Fund 14 LP through a newly created co-investment vehicle called Capital Co-Investments 11 LLC. The Investment Advisory Committee recommends that TexGlow co-invest up to $75 million alongside Intervest 14 through Capital Co-Investments 11. For background purposes, the board currently has a $150 million capital commitment to Intervest 14, which is a closed fund, commingled fund sponsored by Houston-based Intervest Ltd. It primarily focuses on acquiring U.S. oil and gas properties that possess significant development potential yet are underpinned by a solid PDP reserve component. Intervest has recently identified a very attractive co-investment opportunity in the upstream space and has solicited a select group of interested potential co-investment partners from within the pool of Fund 14 limited partners to participate alongside the fund in the transaction. Fund 14 representatives initially presented details of the proposed co-investment to staff in early April, and comprehensive due diligence materials was subsequently made available to staff and the Townsend Group for review and analysis. Following a due diligence call with Houston-based Von Gotten and Associates, which is a oil and gas reservoir engineer consultant, there was a second due diligence call with Intervest that was conducted on April 20th. Intervest representatives then made a detailed presentation to the IAC and to Townsend on April 25th. In conjunction with this review and analysis, staff and the IAC have determined that the proposed co-investment fits within the framework of the TexGlow PSF Real Assets Investment Policy Statement and is in the best interest of the Permanent School Fund. Therefore, the IAC recommends that the School Land Board approve a co-investment of up to $75 million in the proposed transaction alongside Intervest Fund 14 through Capital Co-Investments 11 LLC, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made, second, and carries with 1 abstention to approve item number 7.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rusty. And also want to recognize Tim Moore with McKinney Partners for joining us and appreciate the brief earlier today. There being no further business before the Land Board at this time, the meeting is hereby adjourned.